What's poppin'? Hello, we are here with some more Draft League content for WBE Week 6, and this week we're going to be taking on my boy Patty Trills. But before we get into it, I would like for you all to please leave a comment for the algorithm and tell me if you could add a new Pokemon ability to the game, what would you want it to do? So for example, I'd like there to be a version of Intimidate that lowers special attack. I think that would be really good for the game. Pretty interesting as well. And yeah, I figured this would be an interesting question for you all. So I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Now, the team that we're up against this week is going to be consisting of Alcremie, Braviary, Ferroseed, Golurk, Incineroar, Jolteon, Mienshao, Milotic, Necrozma, Silvally, and Weezing. This should have appeared to your right, and he has a lot of threats. Necrozma is a huge threat, even though we have Pokemon like, Dragapult and some dark types like Obstagoon, Skuntank, and stuff. It has coverage. It has some really good coverage overall. Great setup opportunity, so that's going to be one Pokemon that we cannot underestimate. And I guess you could also bring Incineroar probably for a Dragapult check. I think that's a really good option for him. And Silvally is a very dangerous mon because it can run basically any type depending on the matchup. So he could bring a good typing for versus our team. It could be like Fairy, perhaps, or like Poison or Steel or something could work too. That could be really annoying, and it has some good coverage and some decent speed as well. Mienshao is another Pokemon that I figured he'll bring because that thing is very fast. Easily with a Choice Scarf can outrun Dragapult and do a ton of damage to my team. So overall, like, I feel like he'll bring Necrozma, Incineroar, Mienshao, Milotic, Silvally, and maybe Alcremie or Weezing perhaps could come in this slot as well. I don't think he'll bring Jolteon at all because I have too many Pokemon for it. I don't think he'll bring Ferroseed either. I don't think it's that great versus my team especially, and Golurk and stuff. Probably won't come, but yeah, like, I feel like he has some good options versus my team. But here's the way that I built my team this week. I decided to bring a Choice Specs Dragapult with 4 attacks. I have Shadow Ball and Hex both. So I have a lot of Pokemon on my team, as you'll soon see, that do carry a status condition with like for example Toxic, or maybe like Scald for a potential burn. And so Hex Dragapult is going to do so much damage. It's going to be really nice versus his team. He only has Braviary that resists the Ghost type attack, but it can't switch into a Specs Draco at all. And then similarly, I guess Incineroar can't really switch into it. Scald is a 2-hit KO on defensive, bulky Incineroar, I think, with Spadef EVs as well, so it can definitely do some good damage to that. And yeah, it's just such a great Pokemon overall. The speed here is fantastic. So I'm running enough speed to outrun Scarf Incineroar. I don't think he's bringing Jolteon, so I'm not EV to outrun that Pokemon because I don't think he's bringing it. And I have so many other Pokemon that can switch into it as well. Now, with also the special attack that we have here, we can 2-hit KO basically every single Pokemon on his team if we click the right move. I think even Alcremie gets 2-hit KO'd by a Shadow Ball, maybe, depending on his EVs. But I know a Hex will definitely do that. Hex with status is so nice overall. And yeah, I have a little bit of bulk here as well, just to make the EV spread look intricate. But it does have a purpose though. This actually survives, I think, a Meteor Beam from Necrozma. Or, I don't know, I said it for something, but I don't remember what it was for. But yeah, it's a good Pokemon overall. Then we have Mamoswine here. So I like Mamoswine a lot with Oblivious because I think in this gen, I don't know if it was last gen or before, but this gen I know that Oblivious blocks Intimidate, which is great because he has Incineroar. So Incineroar can't really weaken this Mamoswine with Intimidate at all. I like Sub because it avoids Weezing's Will-O-Wisp and allows us to easily do considerable damage to it with Icicle Crash behind the Sub as well. It's super dangerous Pokemon. Adamant Life Orb Mamoswine, you already know. And then we have Lanturn, which is there for a good sort of sponge for the team. Nice glue, nice pivot. Overall, it's great because it deals with it's able to absorb any hit from Jolteon, which I don't think he'll bring, but it's also great versus Milotic, versus potential Braviary as well. If he doesn't bring Golurk, then it kind of just volt switches all over his team because I don't think he'll bring Jolteon either. But yeah, a nice toxic user for the team, and Heal Bell to keep ourselves healthy because he might have T-Spikes or just Toxic in general on Pokemon. I've seen him bring Toxic before. Skuntank here, which is there for nice Aftermath, Black Sludge, good old Sub-Toxic Protect set. I'll try not to use Skuntank as much here, but like the point of these Pokemon back here, they all have Toxic, so I want to spread as much poison as I can so that Dragapult can click Hex. And so this Skuntank in particular is just so good versus his team because the speed tier is 84 And stuff like Necrozma at 79, Braviary is like 80, Milotic is 81. So in that sense, like this thing can easily get a fast sub off on Pokemon and just spam Toxic. And Dark Pulse, I just have this thing because it's a no contact move, so it can actually hit Ferroseed without taking any recoil from Iron Barbs. So yeah, and the EV spread here allows us to survive, I think, a hit from Necrozma, like an Earth Power or something from Timid, or I think even Modest, I'm not sure, but this can take a hit at least from some certain stuff and do some good work with nice spreading of Toxic. Bronzong is great because it also does the same thing, and it's Heatproof Colbur Berry, so it actually can check Incineroar by taking less damage from Heatproof and taking less from a knockoff because of Colbur Berry. And so with Body Press, it'll be an easy 2-hit KO as well, and it's not worried about Intimidate because its defense is calculated with Body Press, not its attack. Heavy Slam is for Alcremie, and then Psychic for Wheezing and stuff, and Mienshao. Finally, Togekiss. I was running Mystical Fire because I really like this move a lot, especially versus some setup sweepers like Necrozma and Alcremie and stuff, Calm Minders. It's great versus those, and Toxic can wear it down. I didn't bring Defog on this team or Rocks. I don't think he'll bring Hazard Stack versus me. It doesn't really seem ideal, but I think this team can put in a lot of work, especially if we early on get Mon Statist. Hex Dragapult can do really well, and like depending on if his Milotic is going to be Flame Orb or not, even if it is Flame Orb, then Hex will it'll do the work for itself basically. Hex with his Flame Orb if he has that with Milotic for Marvel scale, but otherwise Toxic is going to be so good versus him. But that's going to be the team. Let's go ahead and hop into the game here, just waiting for Patty to get ready. He thought it was a different time they were playing, but he's getting ready now, so we'll be playing relatively soon. And I'll see you guys for the battle. So we can see the teams here. He is bringing... Ooh, no Necrozma? That is crazy. So he brought the Braviary, which I mean, I guess these mons, they do make sense. I was expecting Necrozma for sure, though. Maybe Alcremie as well, but this is alright. He could lead Mienshao. That's probably his choice Scarfer for the team, I would assume. So we could probably lead Bronzong here and get off some early Toxics. I think I do like Bronzong. He could also lead Silvally. We don't know what type it is, but Bronzong could be nice just for us to start off. Milotic could be Leftovers or Flame Orb, either or. Maybe Flame Orb, but we'll see. But I think this looks pretty good to start us off with here. So you guys saw the team builder, so you know what I'm bringing. And honestly, I think the matchup's okay. I feel like he has a lot of threatening Pokemon versus us, but we could still come through. So yep, I got down Mienshao, Braviary, Wheezing, Milotic, Silvally, and Incineroar. So yeah, we have to figure out what type Silvally is. Silvally is a dangerous Pokemon because you don't really know what type to expect. He could bring any type he wants to. So let's see what we can do here. He leads with the Wheezing. Okay. Very interesting lead here. So he could go for a Wisp here. I think maybe it's in my best interest just to go for a Psychic, just to get some damage off on this thing. Could be nice. And I do have Heal Bell, so I'm just gonna Psychic here. Because he might taunt, actually, also turn one, he might taunt. So I think Psychic is a fine play. So another good thing to note is that he doesn't have a ground type Pokemon that he brought this week, so Volt Switch from Lanturn is going to be great to pivot into mons like Dragapult and Mamoswine. So he actually switches out immediately. Goes right into Incineroar here. So the thing about Incineroar is, right off the bat, it's not really too big of an issue because we are Heat Proof and Colbur Berry. So if he decides to Flare Abyss, I know we'll live the hit. If he knocks off, we'll take the hit as well. So why don't we just fire off a Toxic here? Alternatively, he could U-turn, but I don't think that would really hinder Bronzong too much right off the bat. Yeah, but I do like the Toxic here. He just goes for the knockoff. We have the Colbur Berry, so that's fine. Putting this thing on a timer will be great. That actually did quite a bit. Nice, and we get the Toxic, so that's fantastic. A Body Press could be good here too, just to weaken this thing a bit. Because I know we'll take a Flare Blitz as well. So I could Body Press here, just to get more damage on the Incineroar, because weakening this means that he has one less Ghost Switch in, which is quite fantastic. Get a Body Press here for sure. And I want to keep Lanturn healthy for the Braviary and Milotic. Yeah, putting a timer is quite nice. So we Flare Blitz is here. We are heat proof, so we should live this hit. Yeah, we do. Excellent, excellent. That's a big damage off on that. That's awesome. So I don't really mind trading Bronzong for Incineroar here. I think that's a fantastic trade-off. Because if he stays in, I think he gets knocked out here. And I don't want to switch into anything else, really, to take a knockoff. Although I could save Bronzong and go into Togekiss here. Because I feel like he'd go for knockoff, and we don't have to immediately sack Bronzong. We could just save it for fodder later on. I mean, his team doesn't have rocks, because none of the Mons on it learned Stealth Rocks that he brought at least. So I don't mind losing Heavy Duty Boots. And he's Intimidate, so he's not Blaze. So I feel pretty safe going into this. So yeah, he just knocks off here. Take that decently well. Does the Toxic knock it out? I'm not sure. Let's see. So I EV'd Togekiss to be faster. I think it should be faster than, I think, the Golurk if he brought that, but I'm not sure if it's faster than this or not. But I think just going for a safe Air Slash is the play. But he switches out. Okay. Huh. That looks like Sylvalia Steel. Because, let me see here. Yeah, this is Sylvalia Steel. Nice, nice. Alright, so what we can do now is definitely switch out here is the play. Lanturn can take the hit. Bronzong's also pretty safe too. I'm gonna go Lanturn here. Multi-attack. Okay. So he's gonna go for that. That shouldn't do too much, because Lanturn can take it pretty well. And then what we can do here is, I'm pretty sure just Volt Switch out. Because either he's gonna Parting Shot here, or he's gonna Hard Switch, or U-turn. Any Parting Shots. I was tempted to bring a Clear Body Dragon Pult this match because of a potential Parting Shot from Sylvalia and Incineroar. But yeah, it makes sense that he's Sylvalia Steel because that was his switch in into Togekiss, so that definitely makes sense. And he's gonna go Wheezing. So, okay, interesting that Wheezing is his response here, but let's kind of gauge the damage. That looks very Spadef to me, very Spadef. Because I thought Wheezing wouldn't take a Volt Switch that well, or as well as it did. But what we can do now, I think, is we can go into... we go Mamoswine and Sub, that could be a play. Could also go into Skuntank, or... Actually, no, let's go Bronzong here. And he is Black Sludge, okay. So I think I'll just Psychic here. I could aggressively go for Toxic, but I don't see a point, really. And, yeah, even if he goes into, like, something like Milotic, we could just go back to Lanturn and Volt Switch again. Kinda wish I brought Rocks, but I didn't have space for it, really. So yeah, he does switch out here. What does he go into? That's the Silvally, okay. So he'll take the hit. So here we could go back into Lanturn, I think. Should be pretty safe. I could also go into Skuntank. Because I don't think he'll multi-attack here. He could just Parting Shot. And Skuntank does offer some... Well, it's Steel, so we don't get much damage off. I think just going Lanturn is fine here. So yeah, we just need to weaken as much as we can for Specs Dragapult to go in. Oh, he has Crunch, okay. So we'll still take that pretty well. And I think we can probably just go for a Scald here, really. Because actually nothing he has really switches into it, so why don't I just Scald? Because he's going to go Wheezing every time, right? And there's a chance something could get burned too. So let's see what he goes into. Yeah, Wheezing, okay. So this thing gets burned, that could be really nice too. Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. So now this thing can't really residually heal itself with any kind of leftovers. Or not leftovers, but Black Sludge, I mean. So that's pretty nice. We can Volt Switch out now. And like I said, we have Heal Bell on this Lanturn. We also have Skuntank as a T-Spike Absorber if he decides to get up T-Spikes. So let's Volt Switch out here. Get some good chip. And I think maybe we could make a more aggressive switch and maybe go into, we could go Dragapult here, or we could go Bronzong, because Bronzong is pretty safe. And I'm actually going to double out of, I think I'll double out of Bronzong on this turn. Oh, Stockpile. That is very interesting. So obviously he'll be able to take the hits a lot better with Stockpile. But, I mean, we don't really need Bronzong anymore. So if he wants to switch, he can. If he wants to stay in an attack, he can take some more chip. We'll take this hit. And get off a nice little Psychic here. Good damage, very good damage. So he'll be forced to Flamethrower again. And so what I think we can do is we can actually save Bronzong for sacking off later. Because we don't need to really let it go down. And just go into Dragapult here. As he Flamethrowers again, that's perfectly fine. We'll take this hit very well. And yeah, a Hex will definitely take out this Wheezing. Could also Shadow Ball here, but I do like Hex. So I'm going to go for that. So yeah, Hex will knock this out. I'm surprised he didn't really bring, well, I guess Silvally is Dragon Switching. That's what, yeah. So I was surprised he didn't bring Alcremie. So Milotic is going to come in now. We don't know what item it is just yet, but it's going to be better for us to just go into Lanturn here. And then we can just Volt Switch out. So Wheezing off the board is quite nice, especially for something like Skuntank. I mean, he only has one more poison immunity in Silvally, but that's it. So he Ice Beams here. That's fine. Gets burned. Okay, so he is actually Flame Orb. Ooh, okay, okay. Not bad at all. So we can Volt Switch out here. I assume Milotic will be faster than Lanturn, naturally, so we'll get the slower Volt Switch off. Lanturn's been such a great Pokemon overall in this season. I know a lot of people have been noticing that lately. I've seen it in the comments. But Lanturn has just been like such a glue to the team, holding everything together really. Just love it a lot. So yeah, like his best switch in now is probably either sacking Incineroar or going Mienshao. Maybe if it's like regen pivot or something. He sacks Incineroar, okay. So that thing being gone is phenomenal, phenomenal. Alright, so that thing is gone. Fantastic. So I think now what we can do here is we could pressure him offensively by going Dragapult. I think we're going to do just that by going Dragapult here. Because he only has Mienshao, Braviary, Milotic, and Silvally left. So if Mienshao comes out here, I'm going to say that it's probably Choice Scarfed. But if anything else comes out, I mean, could probably just either Shadow Ball or drop a Draco. Or if it's Milotic, then we could just Hex it. Or we can... Well, he revealed Ice Beam, so maybe because Hex is not an Oko, we can switch out. But he's taking some time to pick this next Mon. Okay, it's gonna be the this Pokemon. I'm kind of curious whether or not a Shadow Ball knocks it out, but I'm gonna say probably not. Let me calc. Dragapult. Yeah, we got some good time on the board here. Dragapult versus Silvally. Doesn't matter what Silvally it is, I guess. Shadow Ball does... it's gonna be a 2-hit KO. It's gonna be a 2-hit KO here, but he shouldn't be doing much damage back to us with Crunch, I think. I don't know, unless he's max attack or something, but we could take the hit. Because I don't have the best switch in for this, and I want to try to eliminate it. So I'm gonna Shadow Ball here. That's good damage. He crunches here. And we take the hit. Nice. Excellent, excellent. Just what we wanted. And then we could just Shadow Ball again. But he actually switches out here. I think he's going Braviary then. Okay. I mean, I could have made it a double, but I didn't think really I was in a position that I needed to. So this Braviary comes out here. Could be a threat for sure. Could definitely be a threat. What we can do here is we can go into Skuntank on this set here. Like, I'm not sure what set he is, but I don't want my Lanturn to get too weak because I need it to sort of check the Milotic to an extent. So Brave Birds, okay. So this actually, I don't know how much this is going to do, but we'll see. That actually does quite a bit. Quite a bit, indeed. I could protect to get some leftovers back, or I could also toxic here. So I think what we'll do is, I like protect here, because nobody wants to bring subsets versus me anyways, because I have a Dragapult. It's wise of them not to anyways. So Skuntank should be out of range of the next Brave Bird here, I believe. So we can just fire off a Toxic. I'm Eevee to be faster, and unless this is Choice Scarf, which I'm not sure if it is or not, but we can Toxic here. And we will land a Toxic because we are a Poison type. Good old Poison. Nice and badly poisoned. Got the Brave Bird off here. And we do live. Nice. We do indeed live that hit. So now he's taking recoil plus the poison, which is really, really nice. And I think here I'm just going to Dark Pulse. I mean, there's only so much I can do with preserving sacks anyways, so I feel like now is the time to just Dark Pulse here. I don't need to fight for differential really, because I'm not in that kind of race. We already know we're like #1 with the differential. So I should be able to just Dark Pulse here. Because he might expect Protect and go for Roost or something. And Dark Pulse does have a sort of decent chance to flinch. He switches out. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Goes into Milotic. Alright. That Dark Pulse animation looks so cool. It actually looks quite fire. And then what we could do here, because he's burned, right? There's nothing stopping us from just letting him take more chip with the burn. So Braviary is statused, Milotic is statused its own self because of Flame Orb, so we can easily Hex that too. So he's gonna Ice Beam here, predict that, or not even predict, I mean just Scout, I guess. I guess Scout for that, but yeah, let's go back to Lanturn here, get a nice little pivot back into Dragapult. Good old Lanturn the glue. He Ice Beams here, that's fine. We are able to just go right for a Volt Switch here. Yeah, let's Volt Switch out here. So the reason I'm not letting Togekiss take too much damage right now at this point is because Mienshao is still there and I don't know exactly what set it is. So I think it's in our best interest to keep some checks around for it. He recovers here, okay. So this Volt Switch should do a decent amount then, right? Sort of decent. So what we can actually do, well, I guess at this point in time, I mean, we could go into Togekiss, but I think, let's go Skuntank to get some more Black Sludge. Yeah, this Pokemon is kind of a threat though. It's kind of good. So I'm just gonna go back into Lanturn here then. His Milotic is so fat, like I probably need something to break it better. Ice Beam's here, that's fine. It's gonna take some burn here. Good chip. I'll Volt Switch out. So I might need to go Dragapult to weaken this a bit. Maybe. Because this thing is Flame Orb. Milotic. And if it's burned, then A Hex is actually doing quite a lot. A Hex does 62.8. If he's max HP, it does 62.8 to 72.4. So I think actually a Hex here might be the play. We may or may not lose Dragapult, but we gotta get rid of this thing, so I'm gonna go for it. So it'll at least put it in Ice Shard range, I think, from Mamoswine. Yep, gone. Nice. So that was definitely in range then. Plus we don't know what his EV spread was anyways, so. That thing being gone is fantastic. Now, what does he bring in? It's going to be the Braviary here, so I guess we do probably need to sack something. Lanturn could still take a hit and check this Pokemon, but I wouldn't mind sacking the Bronzong here. I don't need to go for the 6-0 every week. Yeah, so we'll bring in Bronzong here to sack this Pokemon off. As he goes for Brave Bird, that's fine. I don't know if he's locked in or not. I didn't see an item on this Pokemon. But if he is, then I know Lanturn could take a hit. And I could potentially go for a Volt Switch here. What else could I do? I could also go into... I could just go into Mamoswine as well. Which I think I will do. Yeah, Mamoswine here should be fine. He still has Silvally left though, so I think what I'll do here is go right for the Sub. I think Sub is a good play because I don't think he'll stay in. Because he needs a Ghost Resist. Yeah, and he switches. Perfect, perfect. Beautiful. Goes into, is that the Silvally? Yeah, it is. So we can get the nice Sub off here. Then we could just go right for the EQ. So he'll have to attack here or Parting Shot, so he'll be able to attack. And this Pokemon is gonna be gone. It's been a pretty good game so far. Nice and straightforward game. So yeah, Silvally's gone here. And then he only has Mienshao, which is still at full, and then Braviary. I think here I'm going to go Togekiss. If he predicts that and goes for like a Rock Slide or a Poison Jab or something, or a Stone Edge, that's a good play on his part, but I still think that going into our Togekiss is the best play. Because it's not worth staying in here. Mamoswine is still pretty useful because it can take out the Braviary, so I feel like this is a fine play on our part. And he's going to go right for the knockoff here, okay. In that case... Oh, that's a crit? Okay, that's alright. I still think that the best play here is to Roost. Yeah, I guess this might be Choice Scarf then, because he made the play there. Oh no, it's not Choice Scarf. Oh, wait. That's not a Choice Scarf Mienshao. Huh. Didn't really expect that. So what item would it be then? I guess heavy duty boots? No, it can't be. Yeah, I don't know. Braviary is in, but we're back at full here. We are back in business right now. And what we can probably do is I could air slash, or I could also roost. I think maybe just air slashing here is fine. So he goes for the roost himself. Okay, so I think we made an alright play here. Because I know Togekiss is bulky enough to take hits from this thing. And he is faster because we are more invested in bulk. So I think what we can do here is go for the roost. I don't think he'd be a bulk upset. And plus, the Toxic would take him down anyways if he tried to set up. Yeah, we took it decently well. It's not a 2-hit KO, which is I think what I EV'd it for. The good old Chinese EV spreads coming through. And so here we can just I mean, I could roost again, but he might predict me going for roost and roost himself, so I'm gonna just air slash here. Oh, but he Brave Bird, that's fine. That is perfectly fine. So I'm not worried now that because the fact that Mienshao isn't Choice Scarf means that Dragapult's faster. So Dragapult's Spec Shadow Ball plus Mamoswine's Ice Shard will win the game either way. If we do lose Togekiss, that is. But yeah, last Pokemon is gonna be that Mienshao. And we should get I think a 5-0 or a 4-0 win depending on you know, what move he goes for here. But because he went for knockoff and U-turn, I don't think he has a coverage for this Pokemon. But we can just air slash here. I don't need to try to like roost or anything to stay above the health, but I'm just gonna win this game real quick. Blaze Kick. Oh! What was Blaze Kick for, I wonder? Doesn't live that. Okay, Mienshao's pretty frail, so that's gonna be GG. It's Emvee, and we are now 6-0 in the league. 6-0 in the league right now, with a 5-0 win here. We're doing really well, which I'm very proud of. We have some pretty tough games coming up, though. I think with Chimp, Moet, and I think Visualize and James as well are our last 4 in the season before playoffs. But yeah, GG to Patty. Be sure to check him out. Good friend of mine, and I'll be watching his side of the game as well. So yeah, that's gonna be it from me. Hope you all enjoyed this match. Make sure you all subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the road to 50K, so we're doing really well. You know, I appreciate all the support. I'll see you all on the next video, and peace.